7:27 p.m. on February 9th, 2004, a local resident near Route 112 in Haverhill, New Hampshire, saw a car off the road. A passing motorist spoke briefly with the driver inside, Maura Murray, a 21-year-old nursing student from the University of Massachusetts Amherst. She said she had already called for help. By 7:46 p.m., police arrived to find the car abandoned, its doors ajar, and Maura gone. Inside were her personal belongings, untouched. No one saw her leave. No one saw her again. Her car remained at the scene for years, a silent witness to a mystery that has never been solved. The crash was not enough to explain what happened next. The car was undamaged, the belongings left behind. No signs of struggle, no evidence of a struggle, no clues, just an empty vehicle and a missing woman. More than 20 years later, the questions remain. What happened to Maura Murray after the crash on Route 112? And why did she leave her car behind?
Maura Murray was a 21-year-old nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst when she vanished on February 9th, 2004. She disappeared after her car crashed on Route 112 near Woodsville, Haverhill, New Hampshire. When police arrived, they found Maura's vehicle and personal belongings, but no sign of her. She has not been seen since. Born in Brockton, Massachusetts, Maura was the fourth child of Frederick Fred and Lori Murray. She had an older brother, Fred, two older sisters, Kathleen and Julie, and a younger half-brother, Kurt. The crash on Route 112 near Woodsville, Haverhill, New Hampshire, remains central to the investigation into Maura Murray's disappearance. On February 9th, 2004, a passing motorist briefly spoke with the driver of a vehicle that had gone off the road. The driver declined assistance and said she had already called for help. When police arrived shortly after 7:46 p.m., Maura was gone, leaving behind her car and personal belongings. The vehicle was found in a remote section of the highway, its condition offering little insight into what happened next. The case was later transferred to New Hampshire's Cold Case Unit in 2009 and is now treated as a suspicious missing person investigation. Despite extensive efforts, no definitive answers have emerged. The crash site has drawn significant media attention and public speculation, especially after being profiled in an Oxygen documentary series in 2017. The wreckage remains a focal point, a place where Maura Murray was last seen. What happened after that remains one of the most enduring mysteries in true crime. At 7:46 p.m. on February 9th, 2004, police arrived at the scene of a single vehicle crash on Route 112 near Woodsville, Haverhill, New Hampshire. Maura Murray's car sat abandoned, its doors open, its engine cold. Inside, her personal belongings remained untouched. No phone, no wallet, no sign that she had intended to leave the scene. The investigation yielded neither confirmed sightings nor credible leads. For nearly 2 decades, authorities have searched for Maura Murray, but her whereabouts remain unknown. Her disappearance is treated as a suspicious missing person case. The circumstances surrounding Maura's disappearance are puzzling. She had been a nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. Earlier that day, she emailed her professors and work supervisor to say she would be away for a week due to a family emergency, which her relatives later said had not occurred. She then drove north from campus alone. At 7:27 p.m., a local resident reported seeing a car off the road near her home. A passing motorist briefly spoke with the driver, who declined assistance and said she had already called for help. When police arrived at 7:46 p.m., Maura was gone. Some theories suggest that Maura may have intentionally disappeared, while others believe foul play was involved. The investigation remains open, and authorities continue to search for clues that could lead to her whereabouts. Search efforts commenced shortly after Maura Murray vanished from the crash scene on Route 112 near Woodsville, New Hampshire. The absence of any immediate evidence of foul play led investigators to initially consider the possibility that she had chosen to leave voluntarily. However, over the years, no confirmed sightings or credible leads have emerged. In 2009, the case was transferred to New Hampshire's Cold Case Unit and is now treated as a suspicious missing person investigation. Detectives continue to review old reports, speak with witnesses, and re-examine evidence in hopes of finding answers. Before her disappearance, Maura Murray had been a standout athlete in high school and later attended the University of Massachusetts Amherst to study nursing. This trajectory painted a picture of a young woman with ambitions and a future ahead of her. Yet, after the crash, that future disappeared without a trace. To this day, the case remains open, with investigators still searching for answers about what happened to Maura Murray after she left her car that night. Some speculate about various scenarios, but none have been proven. The mystery continues to captivate and confound those who follow it closely. Author James Renner, in his book True Crime Addict, presented a theory suggesting Maura intentionally disappeared to assume a new identity due to concerns over a pending credit card fraud case, potentially hindering her nursing career. However, this theory is disputed by Maura's father, Fred Murray, who maintains that he believes his daughter was abducted and is deceased. Fred Murray has never stopped looking for his daughter. Since Maura's disappearance on February 9, 2004, he has worked closely with law enforcement. He attends meetings when possible, reviews available evidence, and pushes for answers. Fred believes that Maura was taken and is no longer alive. This view stands in contrast to other theories about her disappearance, but for Fred, the search is deeply personal. Over nearly 2 decades, he has walked the same roads where his daughter vanished, spoken to investigators, and shared her story with anyone who will listen. His voice has become a familiar one in the ongoing search for Maura, and his presence at the crash site on Route 112 remains constant. The car is still there, abandoned on the side of the road, a reminder of the moment his life changed forever. Fred has never accepted the possibility that Maura left willingly. Every clue, every lead, is examined with the hope that it will one day lead to the truth. But for now, the case remains unsolved, and Fred Murray continues to search. In 2009, the case was officially classified as Suspicious Missing Person Investigation when it became the responsibility of New Hampshire's Cold Case Unit. This shift in handling reflected the ongoing mystery surrounding Maura Murray's disappearance. While detectives continue to revisit the crash site, review evidence,
and issue public appeals over the years, no confirmed sightings or credible leads have emerged. The investigation has spanned more than a decade, with case files growing thicker and the mystery deepening. Despite the passage of time, the case remained a priority for law enforcement, reflecting its complexity and the urgency felt by those who knew Maura. Her disappearance continued to draw attention, appearing in media outlets and public discussions. In 2017, the case was profiled in an Oxygen documentary series, bringing renewed focus to the unanswered questions surrounding her fate. The long-running nature of the investigation underscores the difficulty of solving a case with so few concrete details. Without clear evidence or a body, the search for Maura Murray has become one of the most persistent and puzzling true crime mysteries in recent years. Still, the Cold Case Unit continues to review the evidence, hoping that somewhere, in some way, the truth will come to light. In 2017, an Oxygen documentary series brought renewed attention to the disappearance of Maura Murray. The series explored the case, highlighting its significance as one of the early major crime mysteries to unfold in the era of social media. This renewed interest sparked widespread discussion and analysis online, with people sharing theories about what might have happened to Maura. While it didn't bring definitive answers, the series ensured that Maura's story remained part of the public conversation nearly 2 decades after she vanished. James Renner's interest in the Maura Murray case grew during a period of unemployment. This free time allowed him to explore one of the most puzzling mysteries from the early 2000s. His book, True Crime Addict, recounts his 5-year investigation into the disappearance of the 21-year-old nursing student who vanished in 2004 after a crash on Route 112 in New Hampshire. Renner reached out to people who knew Maura, but some were reluctant to discuss the case. The reasons for their reluctance remain unclear. In his book, Renner proposes the theory that Maura may have disappeared intentionally to avoid a potential credit card fraud case. Maura Murray's father, Fred, has consistently maintained that his daughter was kidnapped and is likely deceased, dismissing Renner's claims as speculative and lacking in evidence. Renner's work has kept the case in the public eye despite no new evidence surfacing. In 2017, a TV series based on his book was announced, adding to the ongoing fascination with the mystery that remains unsolved. Among the many theories surrounding Maura Murray's disappearance, author James Renner proposes a controversial explanation in his book, True Crime Addict. He suggests that Maura may have intentionally left the crash scene to escape potential legal trouble related to a pending credit card fraud case. According to Renner's account, she might have planned to start a new life under a different identity, believing her nursing career would be jeopardized if the matter came to light. Fred Murray has consistently dismissed Renner's claim as speculative and lacking in evidence. He firmly believes his daughter was abducted and is likely deceased. The question of what happened to Maura Murray after the crash on Route 1 Shore 12 remains unanswered, with investigators yet to find any credible evidence confirming or refuting Renner's theory. Nearly 2 decades later, her disappearance continues to haunt those who knew her and captivate the public imagination. The car remained at the crash site untouched, with Maura Murray's personal belongings left inside. This detail is one of the most puzzling aspects of her disappearance. Why did she leave everything behind? There were no signs of struggle or forced entry. Investigators have long questioned why she didn't take anything with her, fueling speculation about what might have happened in those critical moments after the crash. Despite years of searching and numerous theories, these questions remain unanswered. The mystery surrounding Maura Murray's disappearance continues to intrigue and confound investigators and the public alike. What led her to leave everything behind on Route 112, and where did she go? Nearly 2 decades later, the answers still elude us.
Since 2004, the search for Maura Murray has continued. While the investigation is now classified as a suspicious missing person case and handled by New Hampshire's Cold Case Unit, extensive efforts have yielded no credible sightings or confirmed leads. Despite thousands of hours reviewing surveillance footage, revisiting the crash site on Route 112, and following up on countless tips, Maura Murray's whereabouts remain unknown. The case is periodically reviewed but is not actively being investigated. The absence of any confirmed information about Maura's disappearance has left investigators with more questions than answers. While some theories have been put forward, notably by author James Renner in his book True Crime Addict, these remain disputed and unverified. Maura Murray's father, Fred, maintains that he believes his daughter was abducted and is deceased. The mystery surrounding Maura Murray's disappearance continues to captivate the public imagination nearly 2 decades later.
Maura Murray was a star athlete at Whitman-Hanson Regional High School, where her talent and dedication stood out. Her athletic background is one piece of the puzzle that continues to intrigue those searching for answers about her disappearance. Her father, Fred Murray, has always believed his daughter was abducted and is dead. This belief has shaped his relentless pursuit of the truth, driving him to keep the case in the public eye. Over the years, Fred has spoken out consistently, emphasizing that the mystery of Maura's disappearance has never been resolved. He maintains a strong conviction that Maura met with foul play. Though nearly 2 decades have passed since Maura disappeared, the search for answers remains ongoing. For many, especially her family and friends, the case is more than just an unsolved mystery. It is a deeply personal loss that continues to echo through their lives. The question of what happened to Maura after the crash on Route 112 in Haverhill, New Hampshire, still lingers. The case remains open, with law enforcement and private investigators continuing their search for answers. Despite years of searches and public appeals, no confirmed sightings or definitive leads have emerged. The mystery of what happened to Maura Murray after the crash on Route 112 still lingers. In 2017, the case was highlighted in an Oxygen documentary series, drawing renewed attention to the disappearance. The show underscored how social media and modern true crime storytelling have reshaped public interest in cold cases. Yet, even with increased visibility, the investigation has not yielded new information. The absence of credible leads continues to challenge investigators. What happened to Maura Murray after she left her car at the scene? That question remains unanswered, and the search for her continues. Nearly 2 decades after Maura Murray vanished, her case remains unsolved. No confirmed sightings of her have emerged since she left her vehicle and belongings at the scene of a single-car crash on Route 112 near Woodsville, New Hampshire. The circumstances surrounding her disappearance continue to perplex investigators and fuel speculation. Her father, Fred Murray, maintains that his daughter was abducted and believes she is deceased, contradicting theories suggesting she intentionally disappeared. Despite extensive searches, public appeals for information, and the attention brought by media coverage, including a 2017 Oxygen documentary series, no conclusive answers have been found.
the investigation remains active as authorities continue to seek answers about Maura Murray's final moments and her ultimate fate. Subscribe if you want the next case broken down the same way.